My name is Michael Woody. Yeah, the title of this poem is Forgotten Humanity. And I wrote this poem in a very unique time, at a very unique time, in a very unique place. Actually, I was in the mountains of West Virginia and in a federal facility during COVID post George Floyd. We were locked down in the rooms, only coming out for 5 minutes 3 times a week. And so, still having a chance to access what was going on in the world, the news, seeing what was happening because of the George Floyd incident, being up under that pressure of lockdown in a federal facility, just getting back to the federal system from DC jail, after standing before a judge who went as far as to say that I stood before him as 1%, 1/10 of 1% of individuals who've ever came before him, having accomplished what I've accomplished and helping people, the things that I've done. So he acknowledged so much about the transformation, so much about the man that I've become, the new version of me, only to, because of the law, sentence me to the same sentence that he sentenced me to 23 years prior because of the same judge that I stood before. And that was on November the 13th of 2019. Not knowing what was on the horizon, but I knew that some law was percolating through the courts, going through the cycle. The Second Look Act. I was the first to be released on that, right? But anyway, during that time, I was very reflective, deeply thinking, and not just about that event. The title for the poem was actually inspired by a class I was taking with Georgetown University, Professor Mark Howard. And the class was called Forgotten Humanity. And in the middle of the class, that's when I got transferred back to the federal system. So it was a combination of things that led to the inspiration of a lot of the content, a lot of the stanzas in the poem itself. Things that I've experienced firsthand, stuff that I've learned and read. So the poem is entitled Forgotten Humanity. Our humanity you forget, in your eyes we 3/5, and you wonder why we rebellious. You wonder why we defy the law. You created a system that never saw us as human, but as property, as chattel to be sold, modern day slavery in the form of the new Jim Crow, also known as population control. The past is never dead, it's not even past, but the last shall be first and the first shall be last. You flood our communities with drugs and guns to create a second class, which gives you political clout to continuously subjugate a whole race. For generations, declare war on drugs, create mass incarceration. You limit my choice to hush my voice, branded me with the scarlet F, create a climate you think gives you the right to take a man's breath. When you forget my humanity, you violate human rights, disregard life, creating all kinds of strife. Now we have a new civil rights fight. The past is never dead, it's not even past, but the last should be first and the first should be last. You flood our communities with drugs and guns to create a second class, which gives you political clout to continuously subjugate a whole race. For generations, declare war on drugs, create mass incarceration. You limit my choice to hush my voice, branded me with the scarlet F, create a climate you think gives you the right to take a man's breath. When you forget my humanity, you violate human rights, disregard life, creating all kinds of strife. Now we have a new civil rights fight. In these days of our lives, in these chaotic times, the paths we cross, in the midst of chaos, humanity gets lost. They say oppression is worse than slaughter, objectified through the eyes of the oppressor. Acts we measure, uniforms draw lines as we search for a colorblind society. Hearts divided creates a hostile environment. We stop and we stare at the fruits we bear. Crushed between oppression, misery, and death, have you forgotten my humanity by taking my breath? Reality, reflection is life's expression. Life is a lesson. Knowledge is tested. Development arrested. Either give me liberty or give me death. My spirit is free. Is it that you fear? Are you able to hear the echo of our cries, the shout of our tears? Still standing, still alive, still we rise. Still reaching, steady breathing beyond colored lines. Our destiny is divine decree, but they too blind to see. We see you, but could you see we? Or have you forgotten my humanity? When you forget that you knew me, you forget that I'm human. I bleed and I cry. I cry, but I bleed. I bow on bended knee. I bend, but don't break. I bow and prostrate. I sin and I pray. I even walk straight on crooked days. I smile, I laugh. I'm only human. Only you can forget that you knew me. I see victory. Victory I taste. There's strength through unity. Unity through faith. Time to wake up. Color is a social construct. What would it take to never forget that which stares us straight in the face? An irrefutable fact. There's only one human race. Yeah, so you on Instagram you can follow me, Michael D. Woody 14, and my poem book is available on Amazon. But I will prefer, I like to do autograph signed copies to make that an experience. Well, make it unique.